Creativity in the content creation space is dead. It's over. It's finished. Finito. Move on. Hell, I had to start the video off with a hook. I had to have all the serious face and everything. But I still stand by that statement. Creativity in the content creator space right now is dead for the most part. Not that that's a permanent thing. And I know we got the rise of the flavorless AI channels that are just popping up left and right. But the creativity is dead. And this is the reason why that creativity as a content creator in the creator space is dead. It is because we have gotten to a point where people are chasing the algorithm. They're chasing, which if you're a content creator, you've always heard about the algorithm. You know, you probably had a number of discussions about the algorithm or SEO or search engine optimization or anything like that. But the truth of the matter still remains that creativity has died because people are chasing the algorithm, the SEO. People want the clicks, the views, so they can cash out on money. Well, this phenomenon isn't new in the creator space, but it's probably at its worst right now. It's been at its worst probably for the last 10 years, but it's just gotten to a point now where, especially since the pandemic, so many people are grifting just for the sake of clicks, right? They'll do anything. You see it on social media too. You'll see people go on a trending post or post that's got a lot of engagement and say something that doesn't even line up to something that they honestly believe, but they do something that's called engagement farming. People will just say something ridiculous and double down on it. And what this does is this gets people to interact. And also on X and many other platforms, the more engagement you have, the more money you make. And so people are also applying this to when it comes to content creating. People are clickbaiting, engagement farming, rage baiting, left and right. There's very few people that are still on this platform of YouTube or on any of these creator platforms, TikTok or anything like that, that are actually creating original organic content. A lot of content that's out is stale, flavorless, uh, lacking of any type of personality, but it allows people to make an income. And I can't knock that. But I'm gonna be honest. There used to be a point where when I was wanting to get into being a content creator, I've been in the field for over a decade. But when I wanted to get into it, I was looking and seeing how, people were so varied. There's so much variety. They were multidimensional. They weren't just a one-trick pony. And it's crazy because you'll hear things, and I've got friends that teach this, and I don't want anyone to take this as shade being thrown at them because this is not shade, but you'll hear the term constantly niche down, niche down, niche down, get in a niche, own the niche down. And it works. It allows you to dominate that field and get a lot of engagement, make a lot of money, and do all this other stuff. But it also pigeonholes you into a corner. And then when you get sick of it, which there's a lot of content creators I know that have 100,000, half a million, a million or more subscribers on their YouTube channels or followers on TikTok or Instagram that are sick of being stuck in what they're doing because they're like, man, I did this one thing, it took off, and I gotta find infantile amount of ways to keep doing this in different varied ways. And I'm just like, I'm losing my passion for doing it because it just feels routine. It doesn't feel organic or original. But they will keep doing it. And to prove my point, when you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok. I mean, you can even apply this to X or um I'm not gonna even bring up Blue Sky. Blue Sky is just some of the most depraved people on Blue Sky. Anyways, you can also apply this to YouTube as well, where you have a lot of people who do one thing only. It can be comedy skits, which is the most common thing. You got the people who do the comedy skits all the time, all the hyper edits for the short thing that's supposed to just keep you engaged because it's constantly jumping. You get multiple dopamine hits, right? So you got that. A lot of the people who are doing comedy, and there's a lot of them that are funny. I got a lot of friends that do it that are funny, but a lot of them are just copying somebody else or doing the very lowest of effort, like having the laugh track, the ha 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 laugh track, and just walking up and standing, or just doing something very little, or just making faces, looking around. And that's considered captivating content, but it's so one note. It's such a one trick pony thing. And I'm not trying to throw shade or attack anyone who does that, but it's crazy how, with everything we have now to create captivating original content, people are just making the lowest effort bullshit that there is and aren't willing to go beyond that. And it's just I look at it and I'm like, man, this is not what I signed up and got into. It's not for me. I scroll like when I scroll through Instagram, which is rare because I don't really. I used to do this a lot. I don't be on social media as much. I mean, I live out here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Of course, I'm gonna want to go to Waikiki Beach, which is right down the block from me. But I see people do the same shit over and over and over and over. And I just, in my head, I'm like, how do you not get tired of doing this? You got this one fitness guy who, granted, he got in shape real. I mean, I respect the brother for his gains, but he's got every video is, oh, I can't even say it, but he says, let's just say he says ninjas. Ninjas be out here, blah, 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 doing this, doing this. Oh, no, bitch. Why? Because I'm ninjas. Like, he does that all the time, every single video. Then you got the other folks with the comedy stuff. Then you got some fitness folks that just do the same thing. And it's like, and if you're not running into that, then you run into the girls that are literally, I could do a whole video about the OnlyFans girls because talk about daddy issues, right? But now you got every girl out there trying, basically, there's nothing left to the imagination. Everything's just right there on buffet, full for you to see. Oh, go join my OnlyFans. And it's crazy the amount of women you run into nowadays that have an OnlyFans. I'm not trying to knock the hustle, but it's like there's a mindset you have to be in to go down that pathway, especially if you end up having kids, because that's definitely going to be something that'll come back onto your kids that they're going to have to deal with. But a lot of people chase money and don't think about that. But, like the creativity is stifled because people are just they're just copycatting. And you see it with streamers, people trying to be the next Kai Cenat or trying to be ISO Speed, or trying to, at one point, people were trying to vlog like Casey Neistat, and or people trying to be like Mr. Beast. And then it's another category of really low effort content, in my opinion. A lot of work goes into this, but it's ultimately low effort because it's not even a creative venture. It's basically just talking about somebody else. You see all those rise and fall channels where they talk about the rise and fall of someone? And then if you ever see what the person looks like, they look incredibly fucking average. And like they're the person who had their head stuffed in a closet in high school or probably got swirlied or something like that. And yet all they do is they look to see, okay, this person's having a downfall. Let me do a video about them. The rise and fall of such and such and such and such. And it's like they take off because people, negativity is a big thing that people go after. People love negativity. And it's just wild to me that we went from people making original sketch type of content, just, hey, this is, let me pull out and be as creative as possible, to the slop that we have now. And if we don't have unoriginal, uninspired slop or copycat slop, then we have all this AI slop, all these AI channels, which are making a killing, by the way, especially those doing the ones on audiobooks or, I mean, literally, folks just taking whole like links either for threads or for like forums or for articles or YouTube videos and boom, throw it in there, generates, pops it out there. It's crazy. It's crazy. I wonder where we're ultimately heading at the rate of how content creating is going. And and I talked to some folks recently, and bless their hearts for their optimism. Bless their hearts for their optimism of feeling like as long as there's personality and content, creativity in the content, it's always going to rise, and then it's always going to be there. But the reality is, and my viewpoint is this, because I see so much behind the scenes things. As I said in the last video I did, where I talked about being tired of doing gaming content, I work with a lot of brands, a lot of businesses, multi-billion dollar companies, multi-million dollar companies, some very, very prominent YouTubers and content creators that you enjoy. I do a lot of work with them. I do private consultations. I do editing for a lot of folks. There's a lot of things that I do beyond this YouTube channel. And I've been to a lot of trade shows, a lot of conventions. I've worked with a lot of businesses, especially those within the AI sector, and I've seen a lot of things. And as has been shown today with, was it Google VO3 or however it's called, where they're making these whole deepfake videos. I mean, if you look close enough, you can tell it's AI, but how do you compete with that? You have to be more creative, but at the same time, all of our content that we put on social media, everything, every video we put on YouTube, every video we put on TikTok, everything is allowing this AI stuff to farm the market and see what's out there. And basically it takes, and it can, and it will, and it has. It will take a very brilliant idea someone has, but they have very poor execution. And it would take it and take that to a whole new level. And people are going to just be astonished, like, oh man, this is amazing. And never know that this is AI. They'll never know. Um, at best, unless things course correct, I say 5 to 10 years, and 10 years is stretching it. That's stretching. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of very top tier, half million, million, 2 million, 10 million, and more content creators, like subs and followers. And these conversations is basically folks are saying like, hey, this has been a great ride, but we got to find a way out because creativity ain't here anymore. It's about being a content churning factory. And that's the reality of it. That's where we're heading. You know, It's not about being creative anymore. It's about appeasing the algorithm. It's about rage baiting, grifting. How many people who couldn't hack it doing gaming content or tech content that just completely grifted into politics? Where, regardless of whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, I don't give a fuck because I'm not political. But think about that. How many of them just grifted? A lot of them. And it's easy money. Many that I've even had on this podcast, on my podcast before. Many that I've at one point called friends. It's a lot of grifters, but it's easy. It's easy to do. You know, so again, creativity in the content creation sphere is dead. It is. And that is where you who are watching this, who may even be listening to this is where you come in. This is my call to action to you. Make content. Actually, scratch that. Make really fucking good content. Make original content. Get as creative as you can and upload it. Don't think about it too much. Create great content. Share yourself. Go let it be what it used to be, which was self-expression and creativity. Do that. Don't try to be the next somebody else. Don't try to copy MKBHD, which so many tech and gaming folks are doing. If you're reviewing a game, talk about your experience with the game, not just the Digital Foundry performance or Steam Deck HQ or any of this other type of boring type of shit. Create it and be original. Talk about your experience, be it gaming, be it tech. I mean, hell, even if you're going to go into politics, be original with it. Don't just parrot somebody else's talking points. I need y'all to hear me when I'm saying this. Be fucking original. We are, this is the greatest time right now to do that. Because so many people are copying somebody else. You be the one to go out there and do different. It is time. It's time for you to do it. Stop putting it off or trying to have the perfect setup or perfect mic or perfect all this other stuff. This is everything you need in your hand. These little devices can do everything. Create something of value and share it with the world. And don't get caught up in the metrics and analytics and the sub count and the view count and all that other shit. Because you know why? You know why you shouldn't get caught up in that? It's because a lot of people buy it anyway. Oh, yeah. Be it their agencies buying that for them. If you guys remember the multi-channel networks, the MCNs back in the day, where you had content creators being represented by them, a lot of them were view buying, sub buying for creators to game the system. And that's real talk. A lot of the biggest creators out there, a lot of them have done it at some point in their career. A lot of the ones I work with have done that. I'm not going to say their names. A lot of people have done it. It's not just on YouTube. It's on TikTok. It's on X. It's on Instagram. Any social media platform, there's a way to buy followers, subs, engagement. And a lot of agencies do it. A lot of creators do it. And I'm telling you now, you don't have to do that. Your growth may be slow. It may be slower than other people, but it's growth nonetheless. Just get out there and share your story, your experience with the world. Create. Create content. Content creator. Create. Don't copy. Create. Even if it's just doing like I'm doing right now, hitting record, talking into a camera with a mic, it's content. Don't be afraid to do something different. Okay? I'm telling you this as someone who's been in the game for over a decade. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and there's really nobody who's still around from when I started. So just create. And that's all I gotta say. And that's all it's gonna be. Catch y'all on the next one.